Welcome to the Straight Out of Home Video podcast, part of the Geeky Waffle Network.
Hello and welcome to Straight Out of Home Video. I'm Vanessa and with me is Candace.
Hello.
And Rachel.
Hi.
And today we are talking about Smart House, which I'm sure a ton of people are excited about because I feel like every single time we start this, though, it's like, this is another classic because they're just all so classic. But
we didn't say that about Lucky Dog or the Zombies.
That's true. That's true. It's just,
the Zombies ones are. The Zombies ones are. I love the Zombies musicals.
They're like a newer classic, though. I feel like a lot of times when we're watching these things, we're thinking like 90s-tastic, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, not all of them are in the 90s, but you know what I mean. That's just kind of like the mindset that we're in. Yes. The 90s, early 2000s. But anyway, yes. So Rachel, I hear you wanted to be on this episode in particular, and why was that?
I love Smart House. Of all of the Disney DCOM movies growing up, Smart House is the one I think about the most. I think of this and like Luck of the Irish, which is just that same kid. But
Ryan Merriman, yeah.
Yeah, we're big fans of him now. We're like watching everything he's been in. We should just do Ring of Endless Light next and just have a Ryan.
We should, yeah, exactly.
Trilogy.
Your letterbox stats are just gonna be him. Yeah, I don't know. Out of all of them, Smart House is the one that had like stuck out to me the most. Like I couldn't tell you the plot of Luck of the Irish other than I think he's on a basketball team, which I was rewatching this thinking, oh wow, that kid really had like one sport.
I didn't
resume.
Even think about that. I didn't think about that he was playing. Yeah, he was playing basketball in this one too. But yes, you are right. He does play basketball in Luck of the Irish as well.
Just like basketball.
Wonder if he does that in Ring of Endless Light.
I don't know. I don't remember that movie, so I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch that. And so I don't remember basketball, but you never know. Again, it's one of
maybe
his
the dolphin plays basketball because it's about a dolphin.
I mean, I would say a dolphin could play basketball in one of those floaty pool.
Yeah, just with his nose.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this was the one I remembered the most. And like every time someone talks about DCOMs, I'm like, remember Smart House?
This played constantly, I feel. Like this was all the freaking time. At least once a month it was on.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yet another one that I don't remember / I don't know if I actually saw, because there's a lot of DCOM movies I'm realizing I don't know if I actually saw. And
Vanessa, what was your childhood?
Well, I don't know. I think Xenon over and over again. And that's basically, I'm sure that I saw way more than that, but my memory is also very terrible. So it's actually a good thing for this because now I get to watch them like with fresh eyes, even if I had seen them before. So, I'm taking it as a positive.
So let's give it like a quick summary of like what the hell this was.
Yeah, so
it's so weird to watch now in 2023,
it's not that far off.
Right, it is, but it's funny because you see these kinds of things happen still in like movies and TV shows now. We're still constantly exploring this concept of AI, which is at the base of what this movie is, which is there's this kid in his family, which is his dad and his sister. His mom has passed away, you find out, a while back. And he is entering this contest, which I don't know. It reminds me of just the kind of modern, the 90s version of the HGTV Dream Home giveaway, which is this. And they have this woman who has created this smart house, and so it all runs on AI technology. And this AI that's named, it's Pat, right? Oh my gosh,
Pat.
I don't remember. Yeah, okay.
It's like personal assistant something. I don't know.
Yeah, for some reason I was like, it's not Pam, it's Pat. And Pat is supposed to anticipate, your needs. It runs the house for you. It's able to cook for you. It's able to clean for you. So it's really advanced technology, especially for when this came out, which was 1999. It's advanced technology for now. So anyway, this house is up for this contest, and the kid and his family win. And they go to live there, and everything feels pretty good at the start. It's all working pretty well.
A lot of green screens.
Yeah, but at the kind of core of everything it's obvious that there's some issues with just the family dynamic in general. The kid is I should know his name.
Ben.
Use his name.
Ben is constantly cock blocking his father.
Well,
like,
yes.
hottie, a stone cold hottie.
The funny thing is that he says that he doesn't want a new mom, and yet he decides to program the house to basically become his new mom.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, if your dad was that hot, let him go find a girlfriend.
And apparently it's been 4 years, and that's a pretty decent mourning time. I think that, he deserves some action after that, honestly.
Yeah.
Save this man.
At least let him have, I don't want to say that word, but a buddy of some kind, let him have some fun.
A freaking buddy.
But yeah, it's just obviously nobody in the family talked before, because they're just like, he's like, why do you think I never go out for basketball or hang out with my friends? Because I'm trying to take care of you all.
And I definitely feel for him, and I understand the emotions that are kind of at play, but at the same time, it's the whole thing of the weirdness of he doesn't want a new mother, but then he programs the house to become his new mother.
Yeah. And so girl, his little sister is like, and then we'll get a new mom.
Yeah.
Like telling the dad to go date because she specifically wants a new mother. And I'm like, that's kind of creepy, kid.
It's also really interesting because the woman who created the house, there's this instant chemistry with her and the dad. And the dad...
There was a lot of like sexual tension for a DCOM movie, right?
Yes,
right? Isn't her name Sarah?
Sarah Barnes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I'm always thinking Bucky Barnes.
So yeah, of course.
It's his sister. That's his sister.
That's his sister's name. Yeah, that's Sarah Barnes is Bucky Barnes' sister's name.
So technically, this is Bucky Barnes's
sister. Yeah,
brother-in-law.
She said she had 3 brothers. So I mean,
yeah. So that adds extra complexity to this movie. But they have like this instant chemistry, and you know what? It just made it seem actually that dating used to not be so awful, but I think that was just obviously used for the movie.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, this is really easy.
No, but she said she had dated a guy who would go around in Halloween masks and rob banks.
That's true, but
a polygamist. She said, I was like, what? They said that in a Disney movie?
That's fair. Okay, that's fair. That is very true.
Whoever wrote this clearly shopped it around. And when no one else thought about, like, I don't want a movie about a house that, like, is smart and tries to kill you, he was like, all right, what if I tone it down in some ways? And I'm going to sell it to Disney. And then he just kept all of the weird sexual tension and, like, dating in the script.
Like, they're
that's fine. That's fine. We don't have to worry about that.
Speaking of behind the scenes, the director of this is LeVar Burton.
I did see that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I did not look at the director yet. I usually try to save that.
Oh no, it was amazing. like really big. I was like, okay.
Well, no wonder it's amazing. No wonder it's an instant classic.
It's LeVar. I was going to say, I forgot for a second it was LeVar Burton. I was going to say it was someone who very clearly had either written for Star Trek or had done sci-fi.
Yeah, because
I want to do something for.
Yeah, all Star Trek stuff. I mean, like basically, it's well, first of all, obviously like some holodeck stuff. There's the replicator. All of a sudden, smoothies appear from nowhere. Yeah, it's definitely has the Star Trek vibes.
It does.
And I mean, it also has that undertone of just kind of, creepy technology is creepy.
Yeah.
As creepy as you can get for a Disney Channel, right?
Yeah. Not to give a Disney Channel movie from 1990, whatever, some ideas. But, like, why didn't the house look like his mom? Like, if
that's what I thought was going to happen. Like, when I was like, it would have been so much creepier if she did.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, especially since that's what she was obsessed with becoming was the mom.
Yeah, so like he could have been like, I programmed her to like look like mom, and then him and the dad could have been like, we have to have a legit talk.
I think at that point, you need to like there has to be some therapy, and
Well, I
maybe
don't know,
some
but
All
he
that,
didn't.
all that whole
therapy.
family
Well,
needs
no,
to
but
go to therapy.
that's the thing. The son didn't program what she was going to look like, but
Yeah,
I think
he
that
had
that the
her.
AI was intelligent enough that it should have figured out that's probably
Yeah.
the best play. Yeah. But I mean, I guess it's just because they needed it to be Katie Sagal because
But Katie Sagal could have been
she's
Yeah,
the
could have been the mom.
mom.
Could have played the mom earlier.
that's also true. I don't know. It's a good point.
But yeah, Katie Sagal, awesome job as always. This is like, other than just like watching a little bit of Married with Children with like my parents, like not really watching it, but just seeing her,
Mm-hmm.
she was great. Great at being
She's
creepy.
always great. I mean, Futurama.
Yeah.
I mean, she's great in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Simple
was
Rules.
yeah. Whenever you see her on the credits, you know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And she definitely nailed this one. It was definitely the very creepy robotic vibe. So I was very happy with that.
How much taxes do you think they paid on winning that house?
You know, there were so many other things that you had to have a suspension
I
of
know.
disbelief on that I didn't
True,
even
true,
think
true.
about that one in
Well,
particular.
not
But
enough. I don't. Did they have? I don't know if it counts as money because he's keeping his real house because he said we can move back home, so his real house is still theirs. But then it doesn't matter anyway because they just were like, "This, we're gonna stay here." They're
Okay,
crazy
so
for that, but
okay, so just for those who don't remember, Sarah Barnes created this house, and then her company is like, we're just gonna have a contest. It's a one of a kind house. It's like the Carousel of Progress kind of house. You know, it does everything you want. It's like
no, it definitely had major Epcot vibes to me for sure.
it's like what
Mhm.
they think the future is gonna be, and
Mhm.
pretty much this. They can turn the walls into a really bad green screen. The little girl was listening to Bewitched, like this
Yes, that was
European
amazing.
brand.
I know. I was like, oh, this takes me back.
I was like, I remember this word. And then at one point before the party, the best scene in the entire movie was like, we need some good vibes for this party. So Pat, the computer, plays Fives, which was I think a British band. I think
don't
they were like,
remember. But
wait, I'm gonna look it up.
But the boys were dancing to it, and it was amazing. And they knew like every step. And I was like, this makes me feel so happy as a kid who used to do this that it seems like guys were doing this too.
Well,
They literally
remember
were just like, "Boosh."
and then after they were done, they were like high fiving. They're like,
Yeah,
good
like,
job.
yeah,
That
it's
was
amazing.
awesome."
I'm like, man, I really hope that there are teenage boys that still do this, but
Oh, and then before the Pat has the idea to have a party, she's like, what do young people like to do for fun? And she's watching like MPV or something
mm-hmm.
instead of MTV. Like
Here's
it
the
was
thing: this
weird.
house is like the Dippin' Dots of houses.
How
It
so?
has been the future, like the house of the future for so long, but it is not. Like it's
Oh yeah.
like
I know. I was wondering that too. I was like, I'm surprised we're not at this level yet somehow. I mean, there's got to be some people with green screens somewhere in their house.
I mean, people have like
TikTokers for
projections.
sure.
No,
Like,
they do projectors and
full-
everything.
yeah,
But like, I
but
guess
not
like just thinking, just like full wall hologram kind of scenario.
Yeah, it's like that episode of Poker Face with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, where he's playing golf and like hitting a green screen. Like that's where we're at as a society, not like
But-
my house can replicate food.
But there was a
Yeah.
scene where she was playing the Pat, the house
Mhm.
computer thing.
Yeah,
was
I looked
playing
up her
with the
name.
dog.
It's Personal Applied
yeah.
Technology.
There we go.
There we go. But she's
yeah,
playing with the dog and she's like throwing the ball. And I'm like, but how is she throwing the ball? Because the dog eventually gets the ball. I don't.
Well, the floor is magic, so maybe she's just bouncing it off the floor
floor's
Yeah,
somehow.
it absorbs.
Yeah, it absorbs everything, so
So is
maybe
she
it
made-
bounces too.
Is she made up of that strawberry milkshake that spills in the beginning of this movie? Like, is that what Pat is created from? Like everything that she absorbs? So she just
kind of like
comes to life.
it's like that's like the 3D printed material that's going in, and then she just
Strawberry
I did not
She
consider that,
really-
but that's a good theory.
She literally makes whatever you want, whatever food. Like I feel like there should be some limits, but I don't get what the company that Sarah Barnes works for. What do they get out of it?
I
Are
think it's advertising, because what she was
it's
saying was that her
advertising.
next or promotional, right? Because that her next project was to start building smart offices. So I think maybe just to kind of promote the technology, they were giving it away, and that way it's all in the news, and that they talk about how
I feel like
this is
they need to
beneficial
do
for.
some testing because that 13-year-old boy hacked the system so easily and was like, "Here, watch a bunch of 50 sitcoms about mothers," and then
Yes, but
the AI went crazy.
you're forgetting that every kid in this time period of DCOM knows computers, just
Yeah, Rachel, we've seen
intrinsically.
this so much. Is like all computers can do insane things that, like, I don't think any of these writers have ever used a computer. I think they've heard about it from their friend's kid.
A friend of a friend.
Yeah,
Also,
no, a friend's child, and like, yeah,
eventually you can get kicked off of the internet. Like the whole idea of the beginning of this movie where like no phone calls can come in because he falls asleep with the internet on. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I was like, I don't, it's been a while, but I don't remember the internet working that way. Like, I feel like if you call back enough times, it'll knock you off the internet. That was the whole
No, I
thing where
don't think
people were like,
no,
so.
because
No,
I
I
got
don't
in
think so. Because
trouble for downloading a Smallville episode when my dad was traveling back from India and he didn't call, and he tried to call in the middle of the night to let them know it landed, and then I got grounded for it because I was using like LimeWire or something. I
yeah, no,
noticed for a fact.
yeah, it definitely, because it used the phone line, so you can use one or the other,
I
and
love
there's.
Smallville.
me too. I laugh.
I missed the episode, and they were gonna play it again until the summer. What else was I supposed to do?
I used to have the kryptonite necklace from the first
Oh, that
season.
Lana hat? Well, you're just gonna keep Clark Kent away then. He's gonna act like a dork. Okay, we're getting off topic.
We're
No,
talking
it's
about
okay.
Smallville
I'm
now.
like, it's okay. I was a Roswell person, so I had issues with Smallville. Anyway,
Great in Roswell. Jeez.
But yeah, no, I do remember that. I think it was all on one system, so as you couldn't do one without the other. And I don't think getting a phone call, it would kick you off. But I also don't understand why he had to get off of or why he had to stay on the computer until 10:01.
Yeah, because if they were gonna call them,
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if they were gonna call them, why didn't they just call them? I mean, or why wasn't he off the
they weren't
internet?
doing like a live stream or anything. I don't
No,
really.
they were just calling.
But also, what
And
was
there
he
wasn't any
doing in the 90s on the
there.
internet?
There
The
weren't
what?
any reporters there when they did the big contest. It was until afterwards,
I guess that the reporters just knew it was coming. It was going to be coming in, the information, and so they had
Yeah.
it all like ready, and they just needed the name, right? So
Which they
Also-
publish a miner's name in the newspaper
Yeah.
without permission.
well,
And
was
also
it
weird
was
that
it
the
his
whole
name, or was it
school
just the
knows.
name of the family?
Oh, well, he's the one who kept signing up for it.
That's true. That's true.
But also weird that the entire school knows. Like, this is pre-social media, so like, are all these kids
I think
They're
that
reading the
people used to
newspaper.
actually
reading the
read the
newspaper?
newspaper.
I don't think a teenager
I
in the
didn't-
90s was.
Well, okay, so
Reading
here,
the
but
we
here's what
weren't
could have.
teenagers in the 90s, but we in the early 2000s. But yeah, I don't remember really reading.
Well,
but
what could
if
have
a lot of
happened?
people are interested in this and they know what's
Yeah.
coming out,
Yeah, that's
like-
true. People did know that this was coming out because well, at least I think some of at least
Yeah.
a handful did, and it would have spread. Or they would have, maybe their parents are reading it in the morning, and they're like, oh, hey, this kid won, or this family
yeah,
won,
don't go
and
to
then they maybe
school
like,
to this Ben Cooper.
yeah, and so then it just kind of spread like that, because that spreading rumors or information or anything like that in school requires no social media. That just always has happened.
Oh, can we please talk about the bully in this?
Oh, yeah.
They look like the bullies from like Billy Madison and stuff. Like, if they were like, oh, Doyle rules, I would have been like, yeah, that checks out. This looks
They
like an
have like
Adam's
the
apple.
gel hair, like the sticky hair. Okay, and the colorful IMAX again.
Oh my god, I forgot about the IMAX.
Colorful IMAX.
Remember, it probably I think it was in the background, but do you remember from like Luck of the Irish, those IMAX to have like the colorful back, like they're different colors?
The computers.
Mac apples.
IMAX.
Mhm.
IMAX. I was
Vanessa's
okay.
looking at me like I've lost my mind.
No. You said so. In my mind, I'm thinking IMAX, like IMAX.
Max. Like
Yeah.
Oh.
computer.
Not the Mac computers.
Max.
Yes. Okay. Mac computers. Yeah. No. Mac definitely sponsored a whole bunch of this crap because they're everywhere.
What do you think Steve Jobs thought about Smart House?
Oh, he's probably the one who made the deal.
He was
Mhm.
like, I have ideas for this house.
Okay, instead of Pat, what about Siri? Siri.
And she's
Siri.
always listening, and then all of your ads will be based on what Siri hears.
Yeah, always listening. I love how Sarah was like, "No, I've made it so that she's very discreet, so she won't, pay attention to you in the bathroom." And I was like, I don't know. You didn't say that she wasn't in there. You just said she'll be discreet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
what
also,
about the bedroom? He's a 13-year-old boy.
That's what I was thinking. But like that, see, that's where my mind got dirty because I was like, why do you? But yeah, he's okay. You don't want
Well,
her
in
to
the
be in the bathroom,
shower.
but in the shower. Yeah. But
here's the thing. She's like, don't worry, she's discreet. She doesn't like prey on your information or you privately. However, the more time she spends with you, she learns things that you don't even know about yourself. Sarah, I
Mhm.
need you to unpack that because that makes no sense.
The
There's
dad
no
says
sense.
this is like Big Brother. And she's like, no,
Mhm.
no.
And
Oh,
that's
at the
exactly what it is. He
beginning,
was correct.
the little girl, the 9-year-old sister,
On the
she
roller
puts her
skates in the
hand,
house.
yeah, she puts her hand on like this, like, looks like it's giving fingerprints, but it also pricks her finger.
Yeah.
And she's like, it bit me. Which
then they
she
know-
didn't have any warning. It was Theranos. Theranos. That's where Elizabeth she caught Theranos from. Was watching Smart House.
I'm seeing how
Because
old Elizabeth Holmes is.
yeah, because she
Oh,
pricks
she for sure did. She's 39 years old. There
yeah,
is
she
no
called it.
way that Elizabeth Holmes
That's
at
how
14 did not watch this movie.
Elizabeth Holmes got the idea from Theranos from Smart House. I'm saying it now because the little girl is like, "Oh, it pricked my finger," and then Sarah Barnes is like, "Well, she discovered everything about you. She knows your blood type. She knows your medical history. She knows this, that, and this, just by that one drop of blood."
Mm-hmm. And
I
yeah,
loved
that's
it.
that's what I was saying. I was like, oh wow. So not only is she, just this in the forefront of AI technology, but also medical technology apparently.
Listen, Sarah, you could make obviously billions with actual technology that does this. Like she could tell if the children had eaten enough vegetables by their breath or something.
Yeah, it was like in the air or something like
Yeah.
that.
She's too busy making a house that her little rat can live in.
Why does a rat have an entrance? She has a rat. Okay, that's another thing. Okay, so it says she's like, "Oh, this is my rat butler." And she's like, "Oh, this generation doesn't get it." That movie came out in 1939.
Your generation should also not get it.
Yeah, so like I'm like
Also,
how
rat and Rhett Butler are not the same. Like, you just said, oh, there's an R and a T. It doesn't sound the same. You just put
Rachel.
Well,
rat
she's
and
you know
Rhett.
what though? She's a big old nerd, and I cannot fault her for that.
No,
I'm
but
actually
you know
not.
what? She actually is Bucky Barnes' sister because she's that old that she remembers when Gone with the Wind came out in 1939.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
She's been around so long, she's dated all those crazy guys.
She's been around since the movie. She's been around since the novel. She's been here. She's just, I don't understand. Why is she the rat butler?
I don't know.
Like
I found her pretty
let's see
charming.
here.
I don't know. I also like the actress, but it's
They're all great. Did you know Brie Larson actually auditioned for the role of the little sister?
That would
really
have been iconic. I would have loved
I
that
don't
for
know
her.
that.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
But anyway, so I'm thinking like a 70-year-old man wrote this or something. That's why he's like, "Oh, kids today don't know Gone with the Wind. I was there at the first showing."
It was 3 different people.
Yeah.
I don't know. To be fair, I know I know a lot of older movies because my dad would show them to me all the time. So I mean, again,
But
that
it's
one
not a
didn't catch me so
generational
much.
thing.
No, that's true. That is very true. I don't say like, oh man, this generation, you don't know, I don't know, I can't think of anything right now, but
You can't think this generation, you don't know the Beatles.
For the record, at the time of recording, Vanessa is like 7.5 months pregnant, so she has baby brain. So I'm giving you that.
I'm like thinking of all the Audrey Hepburn movies I've seen and all of the, and I can't think of a single one. Charade.
Funny face.
My Fair Lady. Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Roman Holiday.
Roman Holiday is the one that I was actually going for. So yeah. But yeah, you're right. I wouldn't say oh my gosh, this generation, they don't know Roman Holiday. Like, yeah, of course they don't know Roman Holiday. My generation doesn't know Roman Holiday.
Yeah,
there we go. We got there, Vanessa. We did it. We did it. Team effort.
Just don't fully understand the thought process. Like, they hadn't fully tested the house. They were like, we're doing this contest. We're throwing them into the house. We don't know what's gonna happen. Like, and then didn't put like security measures on that room.
No, but she did. But
got outsmarted by the child.
Well, I know, like, so there was a pin pad, and he somehow hacked the pin pad. I don't know how he did that, but
because
all
children have magic computer skills apparently in all these movies.
Technology skills.
I said he was a genius, and then I just remembered one of my favorite, absolutely insane parts of this movie when they're at the table and he like does not want his dad dating her. And he's basically like, yeah, men don't like geniuses. And she's like, well, I'm not a genius. He's like, no, don't sell yourself short. You're a genius. Like
messing. Oh, and then the dad says, like, oh, I thought it was just girls who went through hormonal changes.
Yeah, that got me. That got me a little bit. I'm like, ooh, that one didn't age well.
I'm like,
that one did not age well.
Also, the fact that the father couldn't do his daughter's hair. My dad
4 years into it.
Yeah, like my dad wasn't a widow or anything. He knew how to do my hair. Cuz like we did dance performances and stuff like that. He learned how to do the hair. It was just taking the time and effort. And the little girl had such short hair. How do you fudge that up?
You just gotta brush that.
I don't know. Honestly, the fact that she had short hair made me think, you want pigtails? Nah, man. Not happening. I mean, she did have them later on.
Which I definitely did have when I was 9 also. Not like, I wonder if did I get it because of this movie? I don't know.
But I did feel for the dad in the fact that, when he wasn't able to do it, she's like, no, it's okay. I'm just going to look like a freak. And I'm like, hey, he's trying his best.
Go get your brother mother and ask him to do your hair.
Your brother mother.
Like, I understand Ben's arc. Like, I understand he's like, well, I'm the big brother. My dad entrusted all this to me. What I don't understand is that this child is like, my dad can never in his life sleep with a woman that was not my mother who died 4 years ago. He must die alone. I must be my sister's mother
right now.
Yeah, like I was like, what is going on with this child?
He's like, I could do it all.
And also, no teacher questioned him. Like his dad, almost understandable that he didn't question him because his dad is like busy and still trying to figure his life out. No teacher at that school was like, this kid really still. no teacher was like, this kid's willing to be his sister's guardian.
So we find out the mother died 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. So he was 9 when it happened, and that meant his sister was 5. And the dad says, you kids decided you didn't want a nanny. So you let a 9 and 5-year-old decide that they shouldn't have a nanny. Who took care of these children?
Well, apparently the brother started just like doing everything. Like, I think that's the thing. I don't think that the dad necessarily just like expected the brother to step up. I think the brother really just took it upon himself. Like that was part of his grieving process. There there are children who lose a parent, and it's like, okay, now it's all on me. I have to grow up real quick. So I think that's kind of more what happened. But yeah, I agree that at 9 and 5 or whatever, you get them some, but like they're not the ones that make that decision. Of just like
call up a grandma, call up Bucky Barnes, like get somebody
yeah
to come watch these kids.
Well, you didn't know Sarah at that point, so that wasn't Bucky.
Yeah, but Bucky
wasn't
Barnes
an
is
option.
He's like a Russian assassin in the 90s.
He's
Yeah,
kind
you
of
could have
busy.
gotten him. After
Kinda
he
busy.
killed that's 5 years ago. I was like, what if their mom was also Maria Stark? But that was 94. So this is 95 would have been when they died.
Okay, we were trying to piece it
Damn.
together. It didn't work. But anyway,
That one didn't work.
Finally, a woman has a double life. It's not just the man who has two families, right? Let the woman.
Oh,
Oh,
but
so
yeah,
bad.
I think that it was interesting. The evolution of Pat was interesting because it sort of made sense, but also didn't make sense. It was because at first when it was trying to be like the perfect mother or whatever, she was just very like no perfect mother is gonna let their kids do exactly what they want all of the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna throw a party for you while your dad's out. Like that's not how that works either. So I didn't know exactly where they were getting that from, because even all the old TV shows, yeah, they made they cooked for them, and they were really they catered to certain things, but I don't think that they were that lenient.
No, I just I
I
have
don't know.
questions about Pat as a whole. Cause like the replicator, like, well,
So-
okay.
When they get trapped, Sarah says they have enough food to last them so long.
So there's got to be like
is
an underground compartment that has all of this food.
But that's also where the
Yeah.
strawberry
This
milkshake went too, Vanessa. That spilled.
You know what? Maybe they recycle all of that. That would be great.
No,
That would be
no.
Rachel.
no. I mean, like they found a way to like purify it and recycle it and make it into something else. I think that's great. That's very environmental of them.
They're composting.
There was a part where Pat malfunctions and a bunch of oranges come out, and they start like throwing everywhere.
There's an underground compartment that just has all this stuff stocked.
But does that mean somebody has to come in there?
That's what I was wondering, if they ever have
stock?
to go grocery shopping, which I assume that maybe they do, but they have to. But it's only after like however many months, and then they just buy in like crazy
delivery, and she uses that claw hand and just grabs the stuff. That claw hand.
Does she order it herself?
I guess so. She was helping the dad with his business.
Yeah, maybe she sucked into the local like whatever.
Do we know what the dad does?
No,
like something with shoes.
It was shoes.
I think it was sports shoes.
No, I didn't pay attention to that really. Well, I was just like generic job.
That was too much of the like D storyline, because the A storyline is that they're in this house. The B storyline is that he thinks he's the mom, and then the C storyline is that he wants to play basketball, and maybe he's bad at it. And then the D storyline is whatever the dad is doing. The dad's whole storyline is the D storyline.
But what if he tried out for basketball, didn't get in, and be like, this is a sign from the universe, I need to take care of my family instead? That's why I don't play basketball.
Yeah, this is a sign from Pat that I should play basketball. Or we could say that he was good, got on the team, and then that's the luck of the Irish.
Yeah, it just evolved. But then there's other questions.
So many questions.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I thought that it was like really, really fun, and it definitely, it touched on a lot of stuff that obviously we're used to seeing now with just like all the technology movies and AI and rogue AI movies. but it had that 90s nostalgia that was also amazing. And yeah, I don't know. I think that today it definitely holds up. What do you guys think?
I think it holds up. I think they're nuts for not moving out of that house.
Yeah,
they kind of didn't have an option after a
He
bit.
said he had a house still.
No. I mean, like, no, but I mean, like, as soon as it started getting dire to a point that it was crazy, she had already locked them in.
No, but I mean at the end of the
she's saying
movie.
after.
Oh, after.
When Pat's like, I'm normal now, but I put chocolate chip chips in your pancake.
And she's on the screen staring at them.
She learned.
I was like, this is like PG M3gan. Like, you guys should be out of that house. I do not know why you guys are in the house still.
Sarah fixed it, in theory.
Oh,
I hope she got a padlock for the door.
I didn't notice as a kid, but this is my theory. Like, at the end, Ryan Merriman's character is playing basketball, and Sarah comes in with her convertible, and she's like, your dad invited me to breakfast. I'm like, honey, you've been there the entire time, haven't you? You're just making a show that you were coming in for breakfast, right?
Yeah, I totally thought the same thing. I'm like,
she just backed up. She just backed up.
And then she's like, hi.
I'm like, nope, that's not what happened.
Would have been so much better if she came in wearing like his dad's pajama shirt. Just like in the car, just like vroom.
But I think this is the one DCOM thing that we have like confirmation. I can't think of a boinking. Thank you. I couldn't think of a non-coursing word to describe it. What is up with me?
I don't know. I couldn't think of anything earlier.
I'm on the podcast, so it is always after dark also, when I show up.
And it also is after dark. We are doing this later than normal, so I feel like maybe our brains are just not like as
the more tired I am, the more I act like I'm drunk, and the more drunk I am, the more my mind goes to the gutter.
Yes,
and you can't remember. This is a horny movie.
Because that dad is hot.
Yeah,
what is he up to now?
What is he up to now? No, he's been a zillion. He's been in a zillion things.
Oh, yeah, this guy.
I feel like he's been in a lot.
He's been in a lot of things. Like, he has a very distinctive voice, and
I bet he's been in a lot of things. Get it?
Oh my god.
I am tired.
You can't stop.
No. I bet he can't stop. No, I'm stopping.
Well, the funny thing is with the whole thing they're saying is like, why did they move out of the house? I mean, you can also make the argument for an overused scenario that they, for everything, which is Jacob's ladder scenario.
Wait, who's dead?
I don't know, all of them.
The mom.
The mom's not dead. No. But I mean, in general, if they're still living in that house, but everything's okay, maybe Pat just killed all of them.
Okay, his dad is played by Kevin Kilner, and he has aged very well. I just want to say, I'm sorry.
And yet he has the same like kind of monotone voice in every single thing that he does.
I know. He's older than my parents. I need to stop.
How old is Kevin Kilner?
He was born in 1958. I'm not doing math.
Oh, my parents are older than him. He was in the Craigslist Killer. Good for you.
Oh, I remember watching that. He was in Cinderella Story. He played Chad Michael Murray's dad.
He's on Instagram.
He's been in a lot of things.
Okay, so this is what happened when millennials grow up. Because you know what? I had the biggest crush on Ryan Merriman as a kid. I probably still do. I need to watch some more stuff when he's an adult.
I'm looking up Ryan Merriman now. All right. You look the same.
And what do you guys think for audience score for Rotten Tomatoes?
It's got to be 75%. Come on. Classic.
I'm going higher. I'm aiming for the skies because this is my favorite DCOM. I'm saying it's at a cool 86.
It is at 53%.
People are dumb.
Proving our just like, I feel like this whole DCOM experience has just proven to me that people are so stupid.
Yeah,
Like, they
how do
did
you
not
not
You
love
love
lucky
this movie?
dog. You lucky dog got a higher score.
A higher
And that was
score, I know.
awful.
I know. That's why I'm like, I don't understand
Smart
where these
House
people are
rules.
coming
Were people just afraid of the house?
Yeah, maybe it
I-
gave them nightmares. That's it.
from.
Maybe they were like, I didn't use technology for 10 years because of this movie. No stars.
Yeah. I'm
And
scared
you're
of
better for it, probably.
I'm
But
scared of my Alexa because of this. I don't know.
you should be.
I mean, honestly, you should. I have unplugged mine months ago.
Mine's been
it's just
unplugged for a full year. It's just sitting somewhere in my apartment.
because I realized all I did was ask it what the weather was.
Same. Or I
And
made
it's
it
like,
set an alarm, or I played that game. That was like a
yeah.
song game.
Yes, the song game, or I played the Batman game,
Mm-hmm.
where you're detectives trying to solve Batman's parents' killers, and I'm like, I kind of
The
already know
Joker did
this.
it.
And we're like, are we in the Tim Burton universe?
Yeah, the Joker did it. Or
And
we
then
in the
the Joker did
Joaquin
it.
Phoenix universe? The Joker did it.
Did he do it, or was it some other people that he
I think
inspired?
it was
Okay, we're off
him,
topic. We're off topic.
But yeah, I think it is a better movie than that score.
Same. Hard
Puts
same.
into the world.
It is a classic.
There's some of the greatest, ones that are like, oh, we don't like this, is only one word describes this movie. Weird. 2 stars. So cheesy and lame. Thank God for Peg Bundy. 1 star.
No, give it 2 stars for Katie.
I guess
One
not.
star.
1 star. The house turns on them. The end of the review.
A 2.5 star on Letterboxd is really good. It says, "Ball is in your effing court, Black Mirror." And then another one said, "Did the dad ever try to boink the house?" But they didn't say boink. That one is a 3-star review.
We need to start checking letterbox
Yeah,
instead.
a
but I-
2-star
Apparently,
review
yeah.
is just, "They continue to live in the house," in all caps. I found my people. And this 3-star review says, "Smart house walks so ex machina and her could sprint."
It's like it's
Someone just
literally
wrote
like
"Hilf." Like,
a house
how
that
is-
was
Oh my
Oh,
god.
Okay, Vanessa, from now on, you do the Rotten Tomato stuff. I'll find some letterboxed
Yeah, that sounds great.
because these are hilarious.
Oh my god.
Ay. Hilf. Can't.
I should make that into a shirt, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Just have like a drawing of Katie Sackle.
Oh my.
Oh. Anything else any burning things that you want to discuss about this movie?
Just that dance sequence, but we discussed it because those boys truly were just like,
They
"We
gave it
got
their
this,
all.
yo."
Yeah.
Boosh, boosh,
Yeah, they
boosh,
were
boosh.
waiting and then they
Mhm.
went into it.
And they owned it.
And I loved it. I loved every second.
That whole party scene just reminded me of being a kid in the 90s, and I was like, you
Mhm.
know what?
Yeah.
I think I felt really like weird and awkward back then, but that was actually really fun.
Like, God, bring that back. Bring back that 90s feel.
Awesome. Well, Candace, where can they find us?
They can find us at thegeekywaffle.com, geeky_waffle on Twitter, and the Geeky Waffle everywhere else, including TikTok, where people are now doing dances. I was just thinking, like, how we used to learn them. If we had video cameras attached to ourselves at all times, we would have recorded our Britney Spears, our NSYNC Bye 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 dance.
I still think we
Oh,
did
no,
record
boy.
them. I still think we
I
did.
did.
record
Like,
them.
I have a
It was just
VHS
like,
somewhere.
right? Yes.
Like my
Absolutely.
parents' VHS of like I have my Spice Girls. Like I'm like 6, so I'm like, if you want to be mad or something like that,
Oh my god. Rachel, where can they find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Rachel Leishman, at Letterboxd at Rachel Leishman. On Instagram, I'm Rachel_Leishman, and you can see my work at the Mary Sue at Collider or listen to me on Padre Pascal.
Amazing. I would say where you can find me, but it's basically nowhere.
Vanessa's occasionally on Instagram. That's it. Like occasionally.
Basically nowhere.
Yeah.
It's amazing that I can even work a computer.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Most days even not. Anyway. Thanks for listening. I'm Vanessa.
I'm Candace.
And I was Rachel.
You were Rachel? What are you now?
She's not Rachel anymore.
I
She's
put on
Pat.
sunglasses. I'm Pat now.
And we hope you have a happily ever after until your house becomes intelligent and tries to basically
Mother
kill
you to death.
Yeah, mother you to death.
Or your brother does.
No.